If you enjoyed this audiobook, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. Sharing it with your friends and family helps spread knowledge, and when we help others grow, we grow too. Thank you so much for listening. Let's dive into the book. Chapter 1: The Magic of Sleep. Part 1: Why We Drift Off. Sleep represents the most democratic experience on Earth, binding every human being regardless of age, culture, or circumstance. This nightly ritual connects a newborn in Tokyo with a grandmother in rural Kenya, a busy executive in New York with a farmer in rural India. Yet despite its universal nature, sleep remains one of the most misunderstood aspects of human life. This section reveals the profound reasons why our bodies demand this daily surrender to rest, showing how sleep serves as far more than mere downtime. Through compelling examples and clear explanations, you'll discover why sleep acts as your body's most sophisticated repair system, and why treating it as optional can quietly undermine your health, relationships, and success. Think of your brain as a bustling city that never stops working. During the day, this city generates enormous amounts of activity, creating waste products and using up resources. Just like any major city needs time for cleaning crews to clear garbage and repair infrastructure, your brain requires sleep to perform these essential maintenance tasks. When Emma, a college student, decided to pull 3 all-nighters in a row to finish her final projects, she noticed something strange happening. Simple tasks like remembering her friend's phone number or solving basic math problems became surprisingly difficult. Her brain felt foggy, and her emotions swung wildly between irritation and sadness. What Emma experienced was her brain's cleaning crew going on strike. During sleep, your brain activates a remarkable washing system. Cerebrospinal fluid flows through brain tissue, flushing out toxic proteins that accumulate during waking hours. This process removes harmful substances like amyloid beta, which scientists link to memory problems and brain diseases. Without adequate sleep, these toxins build up like garbage in an uncollected neighborhood. From an evolutionary standpoint, sleep presents a fascinating puzzle. Why would nature design creatures to spend 1/3 of their lives in a vulnerable, unconscious state? The answer lies in sleep's incredible efficiency as a biological process. Consider how Alex, a marathon runner, discovered the power of sleep for physical recovery. After increasing his training intensity, Alex initially tried to maximize his workout time by sleeping only 5 hours per night. His running times got worse, not better. His coach suggested prioritizing 8 hours of sleep instead of extra training sessions. Within 2 weeks, Alex's performance improved dramatically. His muscles recovered faster, his reaction time sharpened, and his energy levels soared. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which repairs damaged tissues and builds new muscle fibers. Your immune system produces infection-fighting cells and antibodies. Your heart rate and blood pressure drop, giving your cardiovascular system a much-needed break. This explains why people who consistently sleep less than 7 hours per night face higher risks of heart disease, diabetes, and other chronic conditions. Sleep also serves as your brain's filing system for memories. Throughout the day, your brain collects countless pieces of information, from important work details to random conversations. During sleep, particularly during deep sleep phases, your brain sorts through this information, strengthening important memories and discarding unnecessary details. Maya, a medical student, struggled to remember complex anatomical terms until she changed her study approach. Instead of cramming late into the night, she studied in shorter sessions and ensured she got adequate sleep. Her test scores improved significantly because sleep helped transfer information from temporary storage to long-term memory banks. Have you ever wondered why a good night's sleep often helps you see problems differently? Sleep allows your brain to form new connections between previously unrelated ideas, fostering creativity and problem-solving abilities. The emotional benefits of sleep prove equally important. Your brain processes emotional experiences during sleep, helping you maintain psychological balance. When people skip sleep, they often experience increased anxiety, irritability, and difficulty managing stress. The emotional control center of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, requires adequate rest to function properly. David, a project manager, noticed that after sleepless nights, small workplace frustrations felt overwhelming. Meetings that normally felt manageable became sources of intense stress. His colleagues seemed more annoying, and minor setbacks felt like major crises. Once David committed to consistent sleep schedules, his emotional resilience returned, and workplace challenges felt manageable again. Animals across the species demonstrate sleep's fundamental importance. Dolphins sleep with half their brain at a time, allowing them to continue breathing and watch for predators. Birds can sleep while flying during long migrations. Even insects exhibit sleep-like states. This universal need suggests that sleep provides benefits so crucial that evolution preserved it despite its apparent risks. Modern research reveals that sleep doesn't simply restore energy like charging a battery. Instead, sleep actively rebuilds and optimizes your body's systems. During different sleep stages, your brain consolidates memories, your muscles repair themselves, and your immune system strengthens its defenses. The consequences of sleep deprivation extend far beyond feeling tired. Chronic sleep loss affects your ability to make good decisions, maintain relationships, and perform effectively at work. It weakens your immune system, making you more susceptible to illnesses. It disrupts hormones that control hunger, often leading to weight gain. Consider how sleep connects generations within families. Parents who prioritize healthy sleep habits often raise children who value rest. Grandparents who maintain good sleep routines typically enjoy better physical and mental health as they age. Sleep becomes a gift that families can share across generations. What aspects of your daily routine might be interfering with your body's natural need for restorative sleep? Understanding sleep's vital functions helps you recognize that consistent, quality rest isn't a luxury, but a biological necessity that supports every aspect of your health and well-being. Part 2. A Night's Journey. Think of sleep as a nightly theater performance, where your brain and body take center stage in a carefully choreographed show. Every night, you experience this remarkable journey through distinct acts, each serving a unique purpose in keeping you healthy and sharp. Understanding what happens during each stage helps you appreciate why some nights leave you feeling refreshed while others leave you groggy, regardless of how many hours you spent in bed. The opening act, light sleep. As you settle into bed, your body begins the first act of this nightly performance. Light sleep serves as the gentle transition between wakefulness and deeper rest. Think of it like the opening credits of a movie, where the action slowly builds and draws you in. During this stage, your brain waves begin to slow down from their daytime buzz, your muscles start to relax, and your breathing becomes more regular. This phase typically lasts about 10 to 15 minutes, though it can extend longer if you're particularly tired or stressed. Meet Elena, a busy accountant who noticed she often felt tired despite sleeping 8 hours. She discovered that noise from the street kept pulling her back into light sleep throughout the night. By using a white noise machine, she helped her brain move past this opening stage more consistently. Your brain uses light sleep to begin processing the day's experiences. It's like a librarian starting to organize books but not yet putting them on the proper shelves. External sounds or discomfort can easily wake you during this stage, which explains why you might jump at a door closing or your phone buzzing. What factors in your sleep environment might be keeping you stuck in this lighter stage longer than necessary? The main performance. Deep sleep. Deep sleep represents the starring role in your nightly show. This stage typically begins about 30 to 45 minutes after you first fall asleep and can last anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes per cycle. During deep sleep, your brain waves slow dramatically, resembling the steady rhythm of ocean waves. Your body temperature drops slightly, and your breathing becomes deep and regular. Most importantly, your brain begins its serious housekeeping work. Think of deep sleep as your brain's cleaning crew working the night shift. Cerebrospinal fluid washes through your brain, clearing out waste proteins that accumulate during waking hours. This includes beta amyloid, a protein linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your brain also strengthens important memories while letting go of unnecessary information from the day. Your body gets busy too. Growth hormone releases during this stage, helping repair tissues and build muscle. Your immune system strengthens, producing infection-fighting cells and antibodies. Children and teenagers spend more time in deep sleep, because their bodies need extra growth and development support. James, a construction worker, started tracking his sleep and noticed he felt much more energetic on days following nights with longer periods of deep sleep. He learned that avoiding late dinners and keeping his bedroom cool helped him achieve more of this restorative stage. The dream sequence. REM sleep. About 90 minutes into your sleep journey, the most fascinating act begins. Rapid eye movement sleep, or REM, gets its name from the quick eye movements that occur beneath closed eyelids. Your brain becomes almost as active as when you're awake, yet your body remains essentially paralyzed, except for your diaphragm and eye muscles. REM sleep is where most vivid dreaming occurs. Your brain processes emotions, consolidates learning, and makes creative connections between seemingly unrelated ideas. Scientists believe this stage helps you practice responses to challenging situations and work through complex feelings. During REM, your brain sorts through memories like a skilled editor crafting a story. It decides which experiences deserve permanent storage and which can be discarded. This process explains why students who get adequate REM sleep often perform better on tests than those who pull all-nighters. Consider Maya, a graphic designer who noticed her best creative ideas often came after good nights of sleep. She learned that REM sleep was helping her brain make new connections between visual concepts she'd encountered during the day. The repeating cycles. Your nightly performance doesn't end after one round. These 3 stages repeat in cycles lasting roughly 90 to 1 in 10 minutes each. Most adults experience 4 to 6 complete cycles per night, though the proportion of each stage changes as the night progresses. Early in the night, you spend more time in deep sleep, which explains why the first few hours of rest feel most restorative. Later cycles contain more REM sleep, often leading to more vivid dreams near morning. The timing and quality of these cycles matter more than the total hours spent in bed. 7 hours of uninterrupted sleep with complete cycles often feels more refreshing than 9 hours of fragmented rest. Have you noticed patterns in how different types of nights affect your morning alertness and mood? Quality over quantity. Understanding your sleep architecture reveals why sleep quality trumps quantity. A night with properly progressing cycles leaves you feeling refreshed, while interrupted sleep can leave you exhausted despite adequate time in bed. Temperature, noise, light, stress, and timing all influence how smoothly you progress through these stages. Creating conditions that support natural cycle progression often proves more valuable than simply extending bedtime. This nightly journey through sleep stages represents one of biology's most elegant systems, perfectly designed to restore your mind and body for each new day ahead. Part 3. Dreams and their secrets. Dreams occupy the most fascinating corner of our sleep experience, where our minds create elaborate stories, solve complex problems, and sometimes change the course of history. While you cycle through deep sleep stages that repair your body, your brain enters a remarkable creative workshop during REM sleep, producing the vivid experiences we call dreams. These nightly adventures are far from random brain static. They represent one of nature's most sophisticated mental processes, working behind the scenes to organize memories, process emotions, and sometimes deliver breakthrough insights that can transform our waking lives. Every night, your brain becomes a master storyteller. During REM sleep, which occurs in cycles throughout the night, your mind weaves together memories, emotions, and experiences into narratives that can seem bizarre or brilliantly logical. Scientists now understand that dreaming serves several critical functions for mental health and cognitive performance. The primary purpose of dreams appears to be memory consolidation. Think of your brain as a librarian working the night shift, organizing information from your day and filing important memories for long-term storage. Dreams help transfer information from temporary storage areas to permanent memory banks, strengthening neural pathways that make learning stick. Dreams also serve as emotional processing centers. When Lisa, a teacher, experienced stress about an upcoming presentation, she dreamed about teaching a class of friendly elephants who applauded her every word. Her brain was literally practicing emotional regulation, helping her process anxiety in a safe mental space. Research shows that people who dream about stressful situations often wake up feeling more emotionally balanced and better equipped to handle challenges. The creative power of dreams has shaped human history in remarkable ways. Chemist August Kekulé discovered the ring structure of benzene after dreaming of a snake eating its own tail. Paul McCartney composed Yesterday after hearing the complete melody in a dream. Author Stephen King credits dreams for inspiring several of his novels. These weren't mere coincidences. Dreams actively generate novel connections between existing knowledge, creating innovative solutions and artistic inspiration. What themes dominate your own dream landscape? Research reveals fascinating patterns in common dream content. Flying dreams often occur during periods of personal growth or when people feel empowered in their waking lives. Being chased typically reflects avoidance of stressful situations or responsibilities. Dreams about falling frequently emerge during times of feeling out of control or overwhelmed. The content of dreams reflects our daily concerns and long-term preoccupations. Marcus, an architect, regularly dreams about building impossible structures that defy gravity. His profession influences his dream content, but these impossible buildings often represent his creative aspirations, pushing beyond conventional limits. Your brain uses familiar elements to explore unfamiliar possibilities. Nightmares serve important functions despite their unpleasant nature. These intense dreams help your mind practice responding to threats and process traumatic experiences in a controlled environment. Children who experience nightmares about monsters often work through feelings of powerlessness or fear of the unknown. Adults may dream about failing exams years after graduation, reflecting ongoing concerns about performance and judgment. Color appears in most dreams, though many people believe they dream in black and white. This misconception stems from the fact that color memory fades quickly upon waking. Dreams also incorporate sounds, smells, and physical sensations, creating rich sensory experiences that can feel completely real while occurring. The brain's dreaming mechanism operates with fascinating precision. During REM sleep, your motor cortex remains active, planning movements that occur in dreams, while your body becomes temporarily paralyzed to prevent acting out dream scenarios. This protective mechanism occasionally fails, leading to sleepwalking or sleep talking. Dream recall varies significantly among individuals and can be improved with simple techniques. Keep a notebook beside your bed and immediately write down any dream fragments upon waking, before fully moving or talking. Dreams fade rapidly as your brain shifts into waking mode, so capturing them quickly proves essential. Setting intentions before sleep can influence dream content. Tell yourself you want to remember your dreams, or focus on a specific problem you'd like your subconscious mind to explore. Many people successfully use this technique to gain insights about personal relationships, creative projects, or career decisions. How might paying attention to your dreams change your understanding of your inner world? Dreams offer valuable windows into your subconscious concerns, desires, and creative potential. Rather than dismissing them as meaningless mental noise, consider them important communications from your sleeping mind to your waking consciousness, designed to help you process life experiences and discover new possibilities. Part 4. Sleep through the ages. Sleep changes with us at every stage of life, much like a trusted companion who adapts to our evolving needs. From the moment we're born until our final years, our sleep patterns shift dramatically, influenced by biology, culture, and personal circumstances. Understanding these changes helps us appreciate why a teenager struggles to wake up early while a grandparent rises before dawn, and why forcing everyone into the same sleep schedule rarely works. This knowledge empowers us to make better choices about our own sleep habits and show patience with others whose sleep needs differ from ours. Marcus and Linda recently welcomed their first baby, Emma. Like most newborns, Emma sleeps up to 17 hours daily, but in short bursts of 2 to 4 hours. Her sleep lacks the organized patterns adults experience. Instead, she cycles rapidly between active sleep, where her eyes dart around and she makes soft sounds, and quiet sleep, where she lies still and peaceful. This fragmented schedule exhausts her parents, who find themselves waking every few hours to feed and comfort her. Newborns sleep so much because their brains are developing at an incredible pace. During sleep, Emma's brain forms millions of new connections, processes the overwhelming sensory experiences of being alive, and regulates the hormones that control her growth. Her frequent wake-ups serve an important purpose too. They ensure she gets enough nutrition for her rapidly growing body and maintain the close bond with her caregivers that she needs for emotional development. As children grow, their sleep patterns gradually mature. 3-year-old Tyler still needs about 12 hours of sleep, including a daily nap. His parents notice he becomes cranky and hyperactive when he misses his afternoon rest. This happens because young children's brains haven't yet developed the ability to stay alert for extended periods. The nap acts like a reset button, helping Tyler process the morning's learning and preparing him for afternoon activities. School-age children like 8-year-old Zoe need about 10 hours of nightly sleep. Her parents establish a consistent bedtime routine, reading stories and dimming lights to signal her body that sleep time approaches. This routine works because Zoe's internal clock is becoming more stable, making it easier for her to fall asleep and wake up at regular times. Then comes adolescence, bringing dramatic sleep changes that often frustrate parents and teachers. 15-year-old Alex naturally feels alert late into the evening and struggles to wake up early for school. This isn't laziness or defiance. During puberty, the brain's internal clock shifts, making teenagers biologically programmed to fall asleep later and wake up later. Alex's body doesn't start producing the sleep hormone melatonin until around 11 p.m., making it nearly impossible for him to feel sleepy before that time. This biological shift creates a conflict with early school start times. Alex gets only 6 hours of sleep on school nights, far less than the 9 hours his growing brain needs. The consequences show up as difficulty concentrating in first-period classes, increased moodiness, and a tendency to catch up on sleep during weekends. Some progressive school districts have pushed back start times, recognizing that working with teenage biology rather than against it produces better academic outcomes and healthier students. How often do you find yourself judging someone else's sleep habits without considering their life stage or circumstances? Young adults like 25-year-old Priya often experience their most stable sleep patterns. Her body has settled into a consistent rhythm, and she typically needs 7 to 8 hours nightly. However, modern life presents new challenges. Priya works late, socializes frequently, and spends evenings on her phone or laptop. The blue light from these devices suppresses melatonin production, making it harder for her to fall asleep despite feeling tired. Career pressures and social expectations often push young adults to view sleep as expendable. Priya sometimes sacrifices sleep to meet deadlines or maintain her social life, not realizing that chronic sleep loss affects her job performance, relationships, and long-term health more than she imagines. Middle-aged adults face unique sleep challenges as responsibilities multiply. 40-year-old David juggles work demands, parenting duties, and aging parents' needs. His sleep often gets interrupted by stress-related awakenings at 3 a.m. when his mind races through tomorrow's tasks. Work-related stress and hormone changes begin affecting sleep quality, even when he gets adequate hours. David's wife, Chen, experiences sleep disruptions related to hormonal changes. Perimenopause brings hot flashes that wake her several times nightly, leaving her feeling exhausted despite spending 8 hours in bed. She discovers that her sleep needs haven't decreased, but her ability to maintain deep, restorative sleep has become more challenging. Older adults often face the biggest sleep adjustments. 70-year-old Robert finds himself waking up at 5 a.m. regardless of when he went to bed. His sleep has become lighter and more fragmented, with frequent awakenings throughout the night. These changes result from natural aging processes that affect the brain's sleep-wake system. Robert's experience reflects common patterns in older adults. Their internal clocks shift earlier, making them feel sleepy in the evening and wake up before dawn. They spend less time in deep sleep stages, making their rest feel less refreshing. Medical conditions and medications can further complicate sleep, creating a cycle where poor sleep affects health, which in turn makes sleep more difficult. Cultural factors significantly influence how different societies view sleep across life stages. Mediterranean cultures embrace the siesta, recognizing that afternoon rest benefits people of all ages. Some societies encourage family co-sleeping arrangements that support infant sleep while strengthening family bonds. Others prioritize individual sleep spaces and strict bedtime routines. Historical perspectives reveal how dramatically sleep patterns have changed. Before electric lighting, people commonly experienced biphasic sleep, waking for a few hours in the middle of the night before returning to sleep. This pattern, once considered normal, now gets labeled as insomnia. Understanding this history helps us recognize that our current sleep expectations may not suit everyone's natural rhythms. Modern shift work creates additional complications across all age groups. Nurse Patricia works rotating shifts that constantly disrupt her sleep schedule. Her body never fully adjusts to the changing demands, leading to chronic fatigue and health problems. Her experience illustrates how work schedules that ignore natural sleep patterns can create long-term consequences. The key insight from examining sleep across life stages is that one size doesn't fit all. Emma's parents learned to work with her natural sleep patterns rather than forcing adult schedules. Alex's family advocates for later school start times while helping him develop good sleep habits. David and Chen address their midlife sleep challenges through stress management and medical support when needed. Robert adapts his expectations and routines to work with his changing sleep needs. What aspects of your current life stage might be affecting your sleep in ways you haven't considered? Recognizing sleep as a lifelong journey helps us develop realistic expectations and appropriate strategies for each phase. Rather than fighting against biological realities, we can learn to work with them, creating sleep environments and routines that support our changing needs throughout life. This approach leads to better sleep quality and greater acceptance of the natural variations in how we rest and restore ourselves. Chapter 2: When Sleep Goes Missing. Part 1: The Hidden Cost of Lost Sleep. Sleep debt accumulates like interest on a credit card, silently, steadily, and with serious consequences. Most people think losing an hour or two of sleep each night is harmless, but the hidden costs of sleep deprivation reach far beyond feeling tired. From strained relationships to workplace accidents, from weakened immunity to impaired decision-making, the ripple effects touch every aspect of our lives. This section reveals the true price we pay when sleep becomes an afterthought, showing how small losses compound into major problems that affect not just individuals but entire communities. Marcus thought he had it all figured out. The marketing director prided himself on running on 5 hours of sleep, believing it gave him more time to get ahead. For months, he pushed through each day fueled by coffee and determination. Then everything began to crumble. His presentations lost their spark. He snapped at colleagues over minor issues. His wife complained he seemed distant and irritable. The final wake-up call came when he rear-ended another car at a red light, something that would never have happened when he was well-rested. Marcus's story illustrates a critical truth about sleep loss. Our brains cannot function properly without adequate rest, and the effects show up in ways we often don't connect to sleep. When we lose just 1 to 2 hours of sleep per night, our reaction time slows by up to 50%. Memory formation suffers dramatically. The brain's ability to process emotions becomes impaired, making us more reactive and less patient with others. Consider what happens in your own workplace when people are sleep-deprived. Have you noticed more mistakes during busy periods when everyone stays late? Have you seen colleagues become short-tempered during stressful projects? These aren't character flaws. They're direct results of insufficient sleep affecting brain function. Lisa, a nurse at City General Hospital, experienced this firsthand. After working several double shifts to cover for sick colleagues, she made a medication error that could have been serious. The mistake happened not because she lacked knowledge or experience, but because her sleep-deprived brain couldn't process information accurately. Medical errors increase by 36% when healthcare workers get less than 6 hours of sleep. The physical costs of sleep debt extend far beyond mental fog. Our immune systems rely heavily on sleep to function properly. During deep sleep, the body produces infection-fighting cells and antibodies. People who sleep less than 7 hours per night are 3 times more likely to catch a cold when exposed to the virus. Chronic sleep loss also increases inflammation throughout the body, contributing to heart disease, diabetes, and other serious health conditions. Dr. Chen, a busy pediatrician and mother of 2, learned this lesson the hard way. Years of interrupted sleep caring for patients and her own children left her constantly battling minor illnesses. She caught every bug that went through her office and her children's school. Only when she prioritized getting 7 hours of sleep did her health improve dramatically. Her energy returned, her mood stabilized, and she stopped getting sick so frequently. The workplace costs of sleep deprivation are staggering. Tired employees make more errors, have more accidents, and show decreased productivity. In the United States alone, sleep deprivation costs the economy over $400 billion annually in lost productivity. Companies with well-rested workers see 23% higher performance levels and significantly fewer workplace injuries. Transportation provides some of the most dramatic examples of sleep debt consequences. Drowsy driving causes over 100,000 car crashes each year. The famous Exxon Valdez oil spill happened partly because crew members were severely sleep-deprived. Air traffic controllers working on insufficient sleep have made errors that put hundreds of lives at risk. How often do you feel fully alert while driving, especially during long trips or late at night? Even mild sleepiness can impair driving ability as much as being legally drunk. Yet many people routinely drive when they wouldn't consider operating a vehicle after drinking alcohol. The social costs of sleep loss are equally significant but less obvious. Sleep-deprived people struggle to read social cues and respond appropriately in relationships. They become more selfish and less empathetic. Marriages suffer when partners are chronically tired and irritable. Parents who lack sleep are more likely to be impatient with their children and less effective at discipline and emotional support. Emma discovered this when her demanding job kept her awake until midnight most nights. Her relationship with her teenage daughter deteriorated as she became increasingly short-tempered and distracted. Simple conversations turned into arguments. Only when Emma committed to better sleep habits did she regain the patience and emotional availability her daughter needed. The cumulative effect of widespread sleep deprivation creates a less safe, less productive, and less compassionate society. When everyone is running on empty, we all suffer the consequences through increased accidents, reduced innovation, strained healthcare systems, and weakened social bonds. Sleep debt cannot be paid back easily. While one good night of rest helps, it takes weeks of consistent, adequate sleep to fully recover from chronic deprivation. The solution isn't cramming extra sleep into weekends, but establishing sustainable daily habits that prioritize rest as much as work and other activities. Part 2. The Modern World's Sleep Thieves. Sleep was once as natural as breathing, but modern life has turned our bedrooms into battlegrounds. Today, we face an army of sleep thieves that our ancestors never encountered. From the blue glow of smartphones to the constant hum of city life, these modern disruptions hijack our natural sleep systems in ways that go far deeper than simple distraction. Understanding these culprits is the first step toward reclaiming the restorative rest our bodies desperately need. The good news is that once you identify your personal sleep thieves, you can develop targeted strategies to outsmart them and restore your natural sleep rhythm. Marcus worked as a software engineer and prided himself on staying connected. He kept his phone on the nightstand, checking emails until midnight and responding to work messages that arrived at 2 a.m. His laptop often stayed open beside his bed for just one more task. After months of restless nights and groggy mornings, Marcus discovered that his beloved technology was stealing his sleep. The blue light from his devices was tricking his brain into thinking it was still daytime, suppressing the natural production of melatonin, the hormone that signals bedtime. Our screens emit blue light that closely mimics daylight. When this light hits our eyes, especially after sunset, it sends confusing signals to our internal clock. The brain interprets this as a sign to stay alert and awake. This phenomenon affects people of all ages, but the impact varies. Children and teenagers are particularly sensitive because their eyes allow more blue light to reach the brain than adult eyes do. The problem extends beyond just the light itself. The content we consume on screens often stimulates our minds when we should be winding down. Social media feeds, news articles, work emails, and even entertaining videos can trigger stress responses or mental excitement that makes it difficult to transition into sleep mode. Consider how different this is from just 50 years ago. Back then, when darkness fell, people naturally began preparing for sleep. Television programming ended, and communities settled into quiet evening routines. Today, we carry miniature entertainment centers everywhere, making it possible to stay mentally stimulated around the clock. Have you noticed how much harder it is to feel sleepy when you've been staring at a screen right before bed? Artificial lighting represents another major sleep thief. Our homes are now brighter than ever before with LED bulbs, overhead fixtures, and accent lighting, creating an environment that never truly gets dark. Even small amounts of light from alarm clocks, charging stations, or streetlights filtering through windows can disrupt sleep quality. Elena discovered this when she moved from a quiet suburban home to a downtown apartment. The constant glow from streetlights, neon signs, and neighboring buildings meant her bedroom never achieved complete darkness. She found herself waking frequently during the night and feeling tired despite spending 8 hours in bed. Her body was receiving mixed signals about when to produce sleep hormones and when to stay alert. Light pollution affects entire communities. Studies of satellite images show that most urban and suburban areas now experience light levels that would have been unimaginable just a century ago. This constant illumination doesn't just affect our immediate sleep environment, it disrupts the natural rhythm of our entire biological system. Noise pollution creates another layer of sleep disruption. Traffic, air conditioning units, neighbors, construction, and even the subtle sounds of electronic devices create a background soundtrack that keeps our nervous systems on alert. Unlike our ancestors who lived with natural sounds that followed predictable patterns, we now contend with random, intermittent noises that can jolt us awake or prevent us from reaching deeper stages of sleep. James lived near a busy highway and thought he had adjusted to the constant traffic noise. However, sleep tracking revealed that he was waking up multiple times each night, even when he didn't remember it. His body was responding to every truck that passed, every motorcycle that accelerated, and every horn that honked. These micro-awakenings prevented him from getting the deep, restorative sleep his body needed. The challenge with noise isn't just volume, it's unpredictability. Our brains are wired to stay alert for unexpected sounds that might signal danger. While a steady hum might eventually fade into the background, sudden or irregular noises trigger our survival instincts and pull us out of sleep. Modern stress levels add another dimension to our sleep challenges. The pressure to be constantly available, to respond to messages immediately, and to stay informed about world events creates a mental state that opposes sleep. Our minds race with tomorrow's to-do lists, unfinished work projects, social obligations, and the endless stream of information we consume daily. Rachel found herself lying awake each night, mentally rehearsing presentations, worrying about deadlines, and planning solutions to problems that might never occur. Her stress hormones remained elevated long after she should have been winding down for sleep. The modern expectation of constant productivity had trained her brain to resist the downtime that sleep requires. This always-on mentality represents a fundamental shift in how humans relate to rest. Previous generations had clearer boundaries between work and personal time, between being available and being off duty. Today, the lines have blurred, and many people feel guilty about being unreachable, even during sleep hours. How often do you find your mind racing with tomorrow's tasks when you're trying to fall asleep? The combination of these sleep thieves creates a perfect storm that makes quality rest increasingly difficult to achieve. Each factor compounds the others, creating a cycle where poor sleep makes us more sensitive to stress, which makes us more likely to reach for our phones, which exposes us to more light and stimulation, which makes sleep even more elusive. Understanding these modern challenges is crucial because the solutions require intentional changes to counteract them. Unlike our ancestors, who lived in harmony with natural light and sound cycles, we must actively create conditions that support sleep in an environment designed to keep us awake and alert. The key is recognizing that these sleep thieves are not insurmountable obstacles, but rather environmental factors that can be managed and controlled with the right strategies and awareness. Part 3. Signs your sleep needs help. Your body speaks a clear language when sleep isn't working for you, but many people miss these important signals or dismiss them as normal parts of life. The warning signs of poor sleep often disguise themselves as everyday problems, making it easy to overlook the connection between nighttime rest and daytime struggles. Learning to recognize these signals can transform your understanding of how sleep affects every aspect of your life. This section will guide you through the most common indicators that your sleep needs attention, help you understand when professional help might be necessary, and provide simple tools to start monitoring your sleep patterns without judgment or pressure. Marcus used to pride himself on functioning well with just 5 hours of sleep each night. As a project manager at a tech company, he believed his ability to work late and wake early gave him a competitive edge. However, after 3 months of this routine, he began noticing changes he couldn't ignore. His morning coffee no longer provided the energy boost it once did, and by afternoon he felt like he was moving through thick fog. Simple tasks that used to take minutes now required multiple attempts and careful checking. The first signs of sleep trouble often appear as energy problems during the day. When your body doesn't get adequate rest, it struggles to maintain normal alertness levels. You might find yourself reaching for extra cups of coffee, feeling drowsy during meetings, or experiencing sudden energy crashes in the afternoon. These aren't signs of laziness or lack of motivation. Your body is simply running on empty fuel tanks. Emma, a teacher in her 30s, noticed she was becoming increasingly irritable with her students over small issues that never bothered her before. A dropped pencil would spark frustration, and routine questions from parents felt overwhelming. She began snapping at her partner over minor household tasks and felt constantly on edge. What Emma didn't realize was that her habit of staying up until midnight scrolling through social media was creating a sleep debt that her emotional regulation system couldn't handle. Sleep deprivation affects your brain's ability to process emotions properly. The prefrontal cortex, which helps you stay calm and think clearly, becomes less effective when you're tired. Meanwhile, the amygdala, your brain's alarm system, becomes more reactive. This combination makes you more likely to overreact to minor stresses and less able to bounce back from daily frustrations. Have you noticed yourself getting more frustrated with situations that used to roll off your back easily? Cognitive symptoms represent another major category of sleep-related problems. David, an accountant, began making calculation errors that he never made before. He would read the same email 3 times and still miss important details. During client meetings, he struggled to follow conversations and found himself asking people to repeat information. His memory felt unreliable, and he worried about his professional competence. When sleep is insufficient, your brain's ability to focus, process information, and form memories becomes compromised. The hippocampus, crucial for memory formation, requires adequate sleep to consolidate daily experiences into long-term storage. Without proper rest, new information doesn't stick properly, and retrieving existing memories becomes more difficult. Physical health symptoms often provide the clearest signals that sleep needs attention. Lisa noticed she was catching every cold that went around her office. Previously healthy, she now seemed to get sick monthly and took longer to recover from minor illnesses. Her energy levels plummeted, and she felt physically weak even after light exercise. Sleep plays a critical role in immune system function. During deep sleep stages, your body produces infection-fighting cells and antibodies. Chronic sleep loss weakens this defense system, making you more susceptible to viruses and bacterial infections. Recovery times also increase because your body can't repair itself efficiently without adequate rest. The timing of these symptoms matters as much as their presence. If you experience persistent fatigue, mood changes, concentration problems, or frequent illness for more than 2 weeks, your sleep patterns deserve serious attention. Many people assume these issues will resolve on their own, but sleep problems typically worsen without intervention. Professional help becomes important when sleep issues significantly impact your daily functioning or when self-help strategies haven't provided improvement after several weeks. Signs that warrant medical consultation include falling asleep at inappropriate times, loud snoring that disrupts others, stopping breathing during sleep, persistent insomnia lasting more than a month, or feeling unrefreshed despite spending adequate time in bed. Starting to track your sleep patterns doesn't require expensive devices or complicated systems. A simple notebook beside your bed can provide valuable insights. Record when you go to bed, approximately when you fall asleep, how many times you remember waking up, when you wake up for the day, and how you feel in the morning. Also note daytime symptoms like energy levels, mood, and concentration. What patterns do you notice in your own daily energy and mood fluctuations? Jenny began tracking her sleep after recognizing she felt terrible most mornings despite spending 8 hours in bed. Her journal revealed she was waking up multiple times each night, though she rarely remembered these awakenings. This information helped her doctor identify sleep apnea, a condition that was fragmenting her sleep quality despite adequate sleep duration. The key to successful sleep tracking is consistency without perfectionism. Don't worry about precise times or detailed measurements. Focus on general patterns and how you feel. This information becomes invaluable when discussing sleep with healthcare providers or identifying which lifestyle changes might help most. Remember that recognizing sleep problems is not about self-criticism or judgment. Sleep difficulties are extremely common and often result from factors beyond your immediate control. The goal is awareness that leads to positive changes, not shame about current challenges. Your body's signals are information, not failures. Part 4. Myths that keep us awake. The world of sleep advice overflows with well-meaning but misguided beliefs that actually prevent us from getting the rest we need. These persistent myths shape how we think about bedtime, creating unnecessary guilt and unrealistic expectations. Understanding the truth behind these misconceptions transforms our relationship with sleep from frustration to hope. This section examines the most stubborn sleep myths, reveals why they developed, and replaces them with science-backed insights that actually help us sleep better. By clearing away these false beliefs, we create space for practical strategies that work in real life. Emma believed she could power through her busy week on 4 hours of sleep, then catch up with 12-hour weekend sessions. This approach left her feeling worse each Monday, trapped in a cycle of exhaustion and oversleeping. The myth of sleep debt repayment runs deep in our culture, promising that we can treat sleep like a bank account where deposits cover withdrawals. Research shows this approach fails because sleep loss accumulates differently than financial debt. When we consistently sleep less than our bodies need, we create a deficit that weekend binges cannot fully repair. Our brains need regular, consistent rest periods to complete essential maintenance tasks. Think of sleep like eating meals. You wouldn't skip breakfast and lunch, then eat 3 meals at dinner and expect your body to function normally. The most persistent myth claims everyone needs exactly 8 hours of sleep. This oversimplification ignores human diversity and creates anxiety for people whose natural patterns differ. Carlos worried something was wrong with him because he felt refreshed after 6.5 hours while his wife needed 9 hours to feel human. Sleep needs vary significantly between individuals, influenced by genetics, age, health status, and lifestyle factors. Most adults need between 7 and 9 hours, but some function perfectly on 6 hours, while others require 10. The key indicator is how you feel during the day, not the number on your clock. Another dangerous myth suggests that older adults naturally need less sleep. This belief leads many seniors to accept poor sleep as inevitable aging. Ruth accepted her fragmented nights and early morning awakening as normal at 75, never seeking help for what turned out to be treatable sleep disorders. While sleep patterns change with age, the need for quality rest remains crucial throughout life. Older adults may sleep more lightly or wake more frequently, but they still benefit from 7 to 8 hours of total sleep. Age-related sleep changes often result from medical conditions, medications, or environmental factors rather than reduced sleep requirements. Have you ever wondered why these myths persist despite scientific evidence to the contrary? They often provide simple answers to complex problems, making us feel in control when sleep seems elusive. The myth that alcohol helps sleep continues because people confuse sedation with quality rest. David relied on wine to fall asleep faster, not realizing it fragmented his sleep later in the night. Alcohol acts as a sedative initially but disrupts sleep architecture as it metabolizes, reducing deep sleep and causing frequent awakenings. Similarly, many believe that snoring is harmless or even indicates deep sleep. This misconception delays treatment for potentially serious conditions like sleep apnea. Janet laughed off her husband's loud snoring until a sleep study revealed he stopped breathing dozens of times each night. The weekend warrior approach to sleep reflects our cultural obsession with productivity over health. We celebrate people who sacrifice sleep for work while viewing adequate rest as laziness. This mindset creates shame around healthy sleep habits and perpetuates cycles of exhaustion. Technology myths also abound, with some people believing blue light blocking glasses completely solve screen-related sleep problems. While these glasses help reduce blue light exposure, they don't address other screen effects like mental stimulation or the habit of staying engaged with devices when we should be winding down. Modern research reveals that sleep quality matters more than perfect duration. A consistent sleep schedule, comfortable environment, and good sleep hygiene practices often improve rest more than obsessing over exact hours. This shift from quantity to quality reduces pressure and anxiety around bedtime. What sleep myths have shaped your own bedtime beliefs? Recognizing these misconceptions opens the door to more effective approaches based on current understanding rather than outdated assumptions. Chapter 3. Building Your Sleep Sanctuary. Part 1. Crafting Your Sleep Haven. Your bedroom environment plays a powerful role in determining how well you rest each night. Small adjustments to your sleep space can transform restless nights into deep, restorative sleep. This section guides you through creating a personalized sleep sanctuary using proven principles of comfort, darkness, temperature control, and peaceful surroundings. You'll discover how simple changes like adjusting lighting, choosing the right bedding, or adding calming scents can dramatically improve your sleep quality. Through real stories and practical steps, you'll learn to view your bedroom as a dedicated retreat from daily stress. Emma worked as a marketing manager and struggled with falling asleep for months. Her bedroom doubled as her home office, with a bright overhead light, cluttered desk, and laptop charging beside her bed. After reading about sleep environments, she made 3 simple changes. She moved her desk to the living room, installed warm-toned bedside lamps, and bought blackout curtains. Within 2 weeks, she reported falling asleep 30 minutes faster and waking up more refreshed. The foundation of any sleep sanctuary starts with understanding 4 key elements that directly impact your rest quality. Temperature regulation keeps your body comfortable throughout the night. Darkness signals your brain to produce melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy. Quiet surroundings prevent disruptions that fragment your sleep cycles. Comfort ensures your body can relax completely without distractions. Temperature control often gets overlooked, yet it significantly affects sleep quality. Your body naturally drops in temperature as bedtime approaches, signaling it's time to rest. A bedroom that's too warm interferes with this natural cooling process. Research shows the optimal sleep temperature ranges between 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Marcus, a software developer, noticed he tossed and turned every night despite feeling exhausted. After lowering his thermostat by 4 degrees and switching to lighter pajamas, he began sleeping through the night consistently. Consider your bedding as an investment in better health rather than just home decoration. Natural fiber sheets like cotton or bamboo breathe better than synthetic materials, helping regulate body temperature. The weight of your blanket also matters. Some people sleep better with heavier comforters that provide gentle pressure, while others prefer lightweight options that don't restrict movement. How does your current sleep environment make you feel when you enter your bedroom at night? Creating darkness in your sleep space requires more than just turning off the lights. Electronic devices emit blue light that suppresses melatonin production for hours after exposure. Alex kept his phone on his nightstand and checked emails right before bed. After moving his phone to the kitchen and reading a book instead, he found himself naturally getting sleepy earlier each evening. Blackout curtains or eye masks block external light sources like streetlights or early morning sun. If complete darkness feels uncomfortable, consider using a small red light nightlight. Red light doesn't interfere with melatonin production like blue or white light does. Sound management creates the quiet environment your brain needs for deep sleep. Traffic noise, neighbor activities, or household sounds can cause micro-awakenings that prevent restful sleep even if you don't fully wake up. White noise machines, earplugs, or soft instrumental music can mask disruptive sounds. Rachel lived in a busy apartment complex where thin walls allowed every conversation to filter through. She started using a small fan for white noise and noticed she stopped waking up multiple times during the night. The psychological comfort of your sleep space affects how quickly you can transition from wakefulness to sleep. Your bedroom should feel like a refuge from daily stress rather than a reminder of responsibilities. This means removing work, materials, organizing clutter, and creating visual calm through simple decoration choices. Scents can powerfully influence relaxation and sleep quality. Lavender, chamomile, and sandalwood have been shown to reduce anxiety and promote sleepiness. Tom started using a small diffuser with lavender oil 30 minutes before bedtime. The familiar scent began signaling his brain that sleep time was approaching, making his evening routine more effective. What small change could you make to your bedroom this week that would improve how restful it feels? Personal touches make your sleep space uniquely comfortable for you. Some people sleep better with complete silence, while others prefer gentle background sounds. Some need multiple pillows for support, while others prefer minimal bedding. Pay attention to what makes you feel most relaxed and comfortable. Creating your sleep haven doesn't require expensive renovations or complete room makeovers. Start with one element that seems most problematic in your current setup. If your room gets too much morning light, address darkness first. If temperature fluctuations wake you up, focus on climate control. If outside noise disrupts your sleep, work on sound management. The transformation of your bedroom into a true sleep sanctuary reflects your commitment to better health and well-being. When you prioritize creating an environment that supports rest, you're investing in improved energy, mood, and cognitive function during your waking hours. Your sleep space becomes a nightly retreat that prepares your body and mind for the restoration they need to thrive. Part 2. The rhythm of rest. Your body operates like a master conductor leading a grand orchestra, with every cell and system following an internal rhythm that has been fine-tuned over millions of years. This natural timing system, known as your circadian rhythm, controls when you feel alert and when you feel sleepy, when your body temperature rises and falls, and when hormones are released. Understanding and working with this biological clock rather than against it can transform your sleep quality and overall health. Most people struggle with sleep because they've lost touch with their natural rhythms, but the good news is that you can retrain your body to follow its optimal schedule through simple, consistent changes to your daily routine. Think of your circadian rhythm as a 24-hour cycle that responds primarily to light and darkness. When morning light hits your eyes, it sends a signal to your brain's master clock, located in a small region called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. This signal stops the production of melatonin, the hormone that makes you sleepy, and begins releasing cortisol to help you wake up. As evening approaches and light fades, your body naturally starts producing melatonin again, preparing you for sleep. Elena, a marketing manager, spent years fighting her natural rhythm. She would stay up until 2 a.m. scrolling through her phone, then struggle to wake up at 7 a.m. for work. She relied on multiple cups of coffee to function and often felt exhausted by mid-afternoon. After learning about circadian rhythms, Elena made 3 simple changes. She started going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, including weekends. She began taking a 15-minute walk outside each morning to get natural light exposure. She also stopped using screens an hour before bedtime. Within 3 weeks, Elena noticed she was falling asleep naturally around 10:30 p.m. and waking up before her alarm at 6:30 a.m., feeling refreshed. The key to resetting your rhythm lies in consistency. Your body craves predictability and will adapt to whatever schedule you maintain regularly. This means going to bed and waking up at the same time every single day, even on weekends. Many people make the mistake of sleeping in on Saturday and Sunday, thinking they're catching up on rest, But this actually confuses their internal clock and makes Monday mornings even harder. What time do you naturally feel most alert during the day, and when do you start feeling sleepy in the evening? Pay attention to these natural cues over the next week without forcing any changes. Morning light exposure is perhaps the most powerful tool for setting your circadian rhythm. Aim to get outside within an hour of waking up, even if it's cloudy. Natural light is much brighter than indoor lighting and provides the strong signal your brain needs to start the day. If you live in a place with limited morning sunlight, consider using a light therapy box that provides 10,000 lux of brightness for 20 to 30 minutes while you have breakfast or read. David, a software developer who worked from home, found himself staying up later and later each night and sleeping until noon. His sleep schedule had drifted so far that he was essentially living in a different time zone from his family. He started by setting his alarm for 7 a.m. every day and immediately going outside to sit on his porch with his coffee, even when he felt terrible. He also bought blackout curtains and stopped using his computer after 9 p.m. It took about 2 weeks of feeling groggy, but gradually his body adjusted. 6 months later, David maintains a consistent sleep schedule and has more energy than he's had in years. The evening hours are just as important as morning for maintaining healthy rhythms. As darkness approaches, your body should naturally begin winding down. However, artificial light, especially the blue light from screens, can interfere with this process. Blue light suppresses melatonin production, essentially telling your brain it's still daytime. This doesn't mean you need to sit in complete darkness after sunset, but it does mean being mindful of your light exposure. Creating an evening routine that signals to your body that sleep is approaching can strengthen your natural rhythm. This might include dimming the lights in your home, switching to warmer light bulbs in bedrooms and living areas, or using blue light filtering glasses if you must use screens. The goal is to create a gradual transition from the brightness of day to the darkness of night. Temperature also plays a role in your circadian rhythm. Your core body temperature naturally drops in the evening as part of the sleep preparation process. You can support this by keeping your bedroom cool and perhaps taking a warm bath or shower before bed. The contrast between the warm water and cooler air afterward can help trigger the temperature drop that promotes sleepiness. Consider Rachel, a nurse who worked rotating shifts and struggled with sleep for years. She couldn't control her work schedule, but she learned to work with her body's needs. On days when she worked night shifts, she used blackout curtains and a white noise machine to sleep during the day. When transitioning back to day shifts, she used bright light therapy in the morning and melatonin supplements in the evening, but only under her doctor's guidance. She also maintained the same evening routine regardless of when she was going to sleep, which helped signal to her body that rest was coming. How might your current evening activities be working against your natural sleep rhythm? And what small change could you make tonight to better support your body's preparation for sleep? The process of resetting your circadian rhythm takes patience. Most people need about 2 to 4 weeks to fully adjust to a new schedule. During this transition period, you might feel tired at unusual times or have difficulty falling asleep. This is normal and temporary. Stick with your new routine, even when it feels challenging. Some people are naturally early risers, while others are night owls. These preferences, called chronotypes, are partly determined by genetics. However, most people can adjust their preferred timing by an hour or two in either direction through consistent effort. The key is working with your natural tendencies rather than fighting them completely. Creating accountability can help you maintain consistency during the adjustment period. This might mean asking a family member to check that you're sticking to your bedtime, setting up your coffee maker to brew at the same time each morning, or planning morning activities that require you to be awake and alert. Your circadian rhythm affects more than just sleep. When properly aligned, it can improve your mood, energy levels, digestion, and even immune function. Many people find that once they establish consistent sleep and wake times, other aspects of their health begin to improve as well. They have more stable energy throughout the day, better appetite regulation, and improved focus and productivity. The rhythm of rest isn't just about following rules. It's about creating harmony between your lifestyle and your biology. When you align your daily habits with your body's natural timing, sleep becomes easier and more restorative, setting the stage for better health and well-being in every area of your life. Part 3. Food, light, and sleep. Your daily choices about food and light create powerful signals that either support or sabotage your sleep quality. The timing of your morning coffee, the brightness of your evening screen time, and even when you eat dinner all communicate specific messages to your internal clock. Understanding these connections gives you practical tools to work with your body's natural systems rather than against them. Small adjustments in what you consume and how you manage light exposure can transform restless nights into restorative sleep, helping you feel more energized and balanced throughout the day. Your body operates like a sophisticated communication network, where food and light serve as primary messengers. These signals tell your brain when to feel alert and when to prepare for rest. When these messages become mixed or poorly timed, your sleep suffers. Consider Marcus, a software engineer who struggled with falling asleep despite feeling exhausted. He discovered that his 4 p.m. coffee habit was keeping him wired until midnight. Caffeine blocks adenosine, a chemical that builds up throughout the day to create sleepiness. Research shows that caffeine can remain active in your system for 6 to 8 hours after consumption. By moving his last cup of coffee to before 2 p.m., Marcus found himself naturally drowsy by his target bedtime of 10 p.m. The timing of meals also plays a crucial role in sleep quality. Your digestive system follows its own rhythm, and late-night eating can confuse these natural patterns. When you eat a large meal close to bedtime, your body diverts energy toward digestion rather than preparing for sleep. This can lead to discomfort, elevated body temperature, and fragmented sleep. Emma, a nurse working rotating shifts, experienced this firsthand. She often ate her main meal at 11 p.m. after her evening shift, then struggled to fall asleep when she got home. After adjusting her eating schedule to have her largest meal earlier in the day and only a light snack after work, she noticed significant improvements in both sleep quality and morning energy levels. Sugar and alcohol present their own sleep challenges. While alcohol might initially make you feel drowsy, it disrupts your sleep cycles later in the night. It prevents you from reaching the deeper stages of sleep and can cause frequent awakenings. Sugar, particularly when consumed in the evening, can create energy spikes that interfere with your body's natural wind-down process. What changes could you make to your evening eating habits that might improve your sleep tonight? Light exposure acts as your body's primary timekeeper. Morning sunlight triggers the production of cortisol, which helps you feel alert and energized. This same light exposure also sets a timer for melatonin production approximately 14 to 16 hours later. Without adequate morning light, your body may not produce enough melatonin when bedtime arrives. Dr. Rachel, a radiologist who worked in windowless rooms, discovered the importance of morning light when she started taking a 10-minute walk outside each morning before work. This simple change helped her feel more awake during the day and naturally tired at bedtime. Her sleep improved dramatically within just 1 week of this new routine. Evening light exposure, particularly blue light from screens, can interfere with melatonin production. Your brain interprets bright light as a signal that it's still daytime, suppressing the hormones that promote sleepiness. Many people experience this when they scroll through their phones in bed and suddenly feel more awake than when they first lay down. James, a marketing manager, found that using amber-tinted glasses while watching television in the evening helped him feel drowsy at his usual bedtime. These glasses filter out the blue wavelengths that most strongly suppress melatonin production. Creating effective light and food strategies doesn't require dramatic lifestyle changes. Start by establishing a consistent morning light routine. Spend at least 10 minutes outside within an hour of waking, even on cloudy days. Natural daylight is significantly brighter than indoor lighting, even when filtered through clouds. For evening light management, begin dimming lights in your home about 2 hours before bedtime. Use warm, amber lighting instead of bright white lights. If you must use screens in the evening, Consider blue light filtering glasses or apps that adjust your device's color temperature. How might your current screen habits be affecting your ability to fall asleep? Regarding food timing, aim to finish eating substantial meals at least 3 hours before bedtime. If you need an evening snack, choose something light and easy to digest. Foods containing tryptophan, magnesium, or complex carbohydrates can actually support sleep when consumed in appropriate portions and timing. The key to success lies in making gradual adjustments rather than attempting to change everything at once. Pick one area to focus on first, whether it's morning light exposure, evening caffeine cutoff, or screen time management. Once that becomes a natural habit, add another element to your sleep-supporting routine. These small changes work together to strengthen your natural sleep-wake cycle, making it easier to fall asleep and wake up refreshed. When your daily habits align with your body's biological rhythms, sleep becomes a natural, restorative process rather than a nightly struggle. Part 4. Evening Rituals That Work. Your evening routine holds remarkable power to transform your sleep experience from a nightly battle into a peaceful transition. The rituals you create in those precious hours before bed act as a bridge between the demands of your day and the restoration your body craves. These aren't just activities to fill time. They're powerful signals that tell your brain and body it's safe to let go and prepare for deep, healing sleep. By crafting intentional evening practices, you can train your system to anticipate rest, making the journey to sleep feel natural and welcoming rather than forced or elusive. Elena discovered this truth during a particularly stressful period at work. For months, she would collapse into bed exhausted, but find her mind racing with tomorrow's tasks and today's unfinished business. Her breakthrough came when she started spending just 15 minutes each evening writing 3 things that went well during her day. This simple practice shifted her focus from worry to gratitude, creating a mental space where sleep could naturally occur. The power of evening rituals lies in their ability to create a clear boundary between day and night activities. When Josh, a busy father of 2, began setting his phone to airplane mode at 8 p.m. and spending 30 minutes reading fiction instead of scrolling news, he noticed his sleep quality improved dramatically within a week. The ritual sent a clear message to his nervous system that the day's responsibilities were complete. Movement can serve as an excellent evening ritual, but the key is choosing gentle activities that calm rather than energize. Maria found that 10 minutes of slow stretching while listening to soft music helped release the physical tension she carried from her job as a nurse. The combination of gentle movement and soothing sounds created a transition ritual that her body began to recognize and respond to predictably. What evening activities currently signal to your body that it's time to wind down, and how might you enhance or replace them to better support your sleep? Reading remains one of the most effective evening rituals, but the choice of material matters significantly. Carlos switched from business books to poetry collections and noticed that his mind stayed calmer as he read. The rhythmic language and gentle imagery created a meditative quality that helped quiet his analytical thinking patterns. Breathing exercises offer another powerful ritual that anyone can practice. Linda, who struggled with anxiety-related insomnia, developed a simple routine of taking 10 slow, deep breaths while focusing on the sensation of air moving in and out of her body. This practice activated her parasympathetic nervous system, naturally preparing her body for rest. The bathroom routine presents an often overlooked opportunity for creating sleep-supporting rituals. David transformed his basic teeth-brushing routine into a mindful practice by focusing completely on the sensations and movements involved. This attention to present-moment experience helped quiet the mental chatter that previously kept him awake. Creating a gratitude practice doesn't require elaborate journaling. Rita simply lies in bed and mentally reviews 3 good moments from her day, savoring the positive emotions associated with each memory. This practice shifts her emotional state from stress or neutrality to contentment, making sleep feel more accessible. Temperature rituals can signal your body's natural cooling process that occurs before sleep. Kevin takes a warm shower or bath about an hour before bedtime, allowing his body temperature to drop afterward. This mimics the natural temperature decrease that accompanies healthy sleep onset. The key to successful evening rituals is consistency rather than complexity. Your body thrives on predictable patterns, and even simple activities become powerful when practiced regularly. Start with one ritual that feels appealing and sustainable, practicing it for at least 2 weeks before adding additional elements. Consider how you might experiment with different combinations of these practices to create your own personalized routine. Some people need more physical release through gentle movement, while others benefit more from mental quieting through reading or meditation. Pay attention to how different activities affect your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. Your evening ritual should feel like a gift to yourself rather than another task to complete. When bedtime becomes something you anticipate rather than dread, you've created a foundation for consistently restorative sleep. Chapter 4, The Sleep Comeback, Part 1, Small Changes, Big Dreams. Transform your sleep with surprisingly simple adjustments that create remarkable results. This section reveals how ordinary people achieved extraordinary improvements through minor daily changes. You'll discover that quality rest doesn't require dramatic overhauls, but rather small, consistent shifts that compound over time. Learn practical strategies from real success stories and understand why gentle modifications often succeed where extreme changes fail. These proven approaches will help you build sustainable sleep habits that fit seamlessly into your current lifestyle, creating lasting transformation through manageable steps. Emma worked as a marketing director and struggled with sleep for 3 years. She tried expensive supplements, complicated routines, and strict schedules. Nothing worked until she made one simple change. She moved her phone charger from her nightstand to the kitchen. This single adjustment meant she couldn't scroll through social media in bed or check emails late at night. The first week felt strange. Emma found herself lying in bed with nothing to distract her from her thoughts. But by week 2, she noticed something remarkable. Her mind began to calm naturally as bedtime approached. Within a month, she was falling asleep 30 minutes earlier and waking up refreshed. Her colleagues commented on her improved energy and focus during meetings. What makes Emma's story powerful is its simplicity. She didn't overhaul her entire life. She identified one habit that was disrupting her sleep and made a small but meaningful change. The phone provided constant stimulation when her brain needed to wind down. By removing this barrier, her natural sleep patterns could emerge. Consider your own evening routine. What small habit might be quietly sabotaging your rest? Sometimes the most obvious changes create the biggest impact. Carlos, a father of 2 young children, discovered the power of gradual timing adjustments. He typically went to bed at midnight but wanted to sleep earlier. Instead of jumping to 10 p.m. immediately, he shifted his bedtime by just 15 minutes each week. This gentle approach allowed his body clock to adapt naturally. The key was consistency. Carlos maintained the same 15-minute progression even when it felt insignificant. After 2 months, he was sleeping at 10:30 p.m. and waking up naturally at 6:30 a.m. His wife noticed he was more patient with the children and had energy for weekend activities that previously exhausted him. This gradual approach works because our bodies resist sudden changes. Our internal clock, controlled by the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the brain, prefers gentle transitions. When we force dramatic shifts, our system fights back with poor sleep quality and daytime fatigue. Temperature regulation offers another area for simple yet effective changes. Lisa, a teacher, struggled with night sweats that disrupted her sleep multiple times each night. She learned that keeping her bedroom between 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit optimizes sleep quality. She lowered her thermostat by just 2 degrees and invested in breathable cotton sheets. The results surprised her. Within 2 weeks, she was sleeping through the night consistently. Her energy levels improved dramatically, and she found herself enjoying her classes more. Students noticed her increased enthusiasm and patience. This simple environmental adjustment addressed a physiological need that had been silently disrupting her sleep architecture. Room temperature affects our core body temperature, which naturally drops as we prepare for sleep. When the environment is too warm, our bodies work harder to achieve this cooling effect, leading to restless sleep and frequent awakenings. David, a software engineer, tackled his caffeine timing. He loved his afternoon coffee but realized it was affecting his sleep. Instead of eliminating caffeine completely, he moved his last cup from 4 p.m. to 2 p.m. This small 2-hour shift allowed the caffeine to clear his system before bedtime. The change felt manageable because he still enjoyed his favorite beverage. Within 3 weeks, David noticed he was falling asleep faster and experiencing deeper sleep. His morning alertness improved, and he relied less on multiple cups of coffee to function. This created a positive cycle where better sleep reduced his caffeine dependence. Caffeine has a half-life of approximately 6 hours, meaning half the amount remains in your system after this time. By adjusting when you consume it, you work with your body's natural processing rather than against it. Have you noticed how certain foods or drinks affect your sleep? Small timing changes might be more effective than complete elimination. The beauty of these approaches lies in their sustainability. When changes feel overwhelming, we often abandon them quickly. But when modifications are small and gradual, they become part of our natural routine. Each small success builds confidence and momentum for additional improvements. These stories demonstrate that sleep transformation doesn't require perfection or dramatic lifestyle changes. It requires awareness, patience, and the willingness to experiment with small adjustments. Your path to better sleep might start with moving your phone, adjusting your thermostat, or shifting one daily habit by 15 minutes. The most successful sleep improvements often come from identifying the smallest possible change that addresses your specific challenge. Start with one adjustment, allow it to become natural, then consider what might come next. This approach creates lasting change rather than temporary improvement. Part 2. Letting go of sleep worries. Understanding why sleep feels so hard sometimes might be the first step toward making it easier. When we toss and turn at night, our minds often become our worst enemies, spinning stories about tomorrow's fatigue and cataloging every minute we remain awake. This mental chatter creates a cycle where worry about sleeplessness becomes the very thing keeping us awake. The solution isn't to fight harder against these thoughts, but to change our relationship with them entirely. Through acceptance, gentle techniques, and self-compassion, we can transform restless nights from battles into opportunities for peace. Meet Alex, a marketing manager who spent 3 years checking the clock every 20 minutes throughout the night. Each glance filled him with dread as he calculated remaining sleep hours and imagined how terrible the next day would feel. The harder he tried to force sleep, the more elusive it became. His breakthrough came when a sleep counselor asked him to stop trying so hard. Instead of fighting his wakefulness, Alex learned to accept it without judgment. Within 2 weeks, this shift in mindset had dramatically improved his sleep quality. The pressure to sleep perfectly creates what researchers call sleep performance anxiety. When we lie in bed thinking about how we must fall asleep, we activate the same stress response that keeps us alert during the day. Our bodies interpret this urgency as a signal to stay awake and vigilant. This explains why sleep often comes easily when we're not trying, like during afternoon naps or while watching television. Consider Rachel, a teacher who discovered that her pre-bedtime routine included mentally rehearsing the next day's lessons. This planning session, while seemingly productive, kept her brain in an active state when it needed to wind down. She replaced this habit with a simple breathing technique called 4-7-8 breathing. She would inhale for 4 counts, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. This pattern naturally calms the nervous system and gives the mind a single point of focus instead of racing thoughts. The most effective nighttime mindfulness practices are surprisingly simple. Progressive muscle relaxation involves tensing and releasing different muscle groups, starting with your toes and working upward. This technique helps identify physical tension you might not realize you're carrying. Body scanning involves mentally checking in with each part of your body without trying to change anything, simply noticing sensations with curiosity rather than judgment. What thoughts typically occupy your mind when you can't sleep, and how might you respond to them differently? Bad nights happen to everyone, even people who typically sleep well. Professional athletes whose performance depends on quality rest still experience occasional sleepless nights. The difference lies in their response. Instead of panicking about one poor night, they maintain perspective and trust that their sleep will naturally return to normal. This attitude prevents single bad nights from becoming extended sleep difficulties. Tom, a construction worker, used to spiral into panic whenever he couldn't fall asleep, imagining how dangerous his job would become without proper rest. His sleep coach taught him the "so what" technique. When worried thoughts arose, he would respond with "so what?" and then generate realistic responses. So what if I'm tired tomorrow? I've worked tired before. I can drink extra coffee. I can go to bed earlier tomorrow night. This practice helped him realize that one difficult night rarely creates the catastrophic consequences his mind predicted. Self-compassion plays a crucial role in long-term sleep success. Speaking to yourself with the same kindness you would offer a struggling friend creates a calmer mental environment. Instead of harsh self-criticism like, "I'm terrible at sleeping," or "I'll never figure this out," try gentler phrases like, "This is a challenging night and that's okay," or "Many people struggle with sleep sometimes." The concept of good enough sleep can be liberating for perfectionists. Not every night needs to be 8 hours of perfect rest. Some nights you might sleep 6 hours and feel fine. Other nights you might sleep 9 hours and still feel groggy. These variations are normal human experiences, not personal failures requiring immediate correction. Sarah, a nurse working rotating shifts, struggled with irregular sleep patterns for months. She constantly berated herself for not maintaining consistent bedtimes, even though her work schedule made this impossible. Once she accepted that her sleep would naturally vary and focused on optimizing rest whenever possible, her overall sleep quality improved significantly. She learned to work with her circumstances rather than against them. Simple acceptance phrases can become powerful tools for nighttime peace. "I don't have to be perfect at sleeping. My body knows how to rest, and tomorrow will take care of itself," can replace anxious mental chatter. These statements aren't about positive thinking or denial. They're about creating mental space for natural sleep processes to occur. When sleep worries arise, try the note and return technique. Acknowledge the thought without engaging with it, like noticing a car passing by your window. You might say internally, "I notice I'm worrying about tomorrow's presentation." Then gently return attention to your breath or body sensations. This approach prevents thoughts from escalating into full mental conversations. How might your sleep experience change if you treated yourself with the same patience you would show a loved one going through similar struggles? Remember that learning to let go of sleep worries is itself a skill that improves with practice. Some nights will feel easier than others, and this variation is completely normal. The goal isn't to eliminate all sleep-related thoughts, but to change how you respond to them. With time and practice, the nights that once felt impossible can become opportunities for rest and renewal. Part 3. Making rest a priority. Sleep isn't selfish. It's essential. Yet millions of people guilt themselves for needing rest, viewing it as weakness rather than wisdom. This section challenges that harmful mindset by revealing how prioritizing sleep transforms every aspect of life. Through compelling research and real-world transformations, you'll discover why rest deserves the same respect as exercise or nutrition. You'll also learn practical strategies for protecting your sleep time, even when the world demands more from you. By the end, you'll have permission to rest without guilt and tools to make it happen. Maria worked 60-hour weeks at her marketing firm, priding herself on being the first to arrive and last to leave. She viewed her 4 hours of nightly sleep as a badge of honor, proof of her dedication. Her colleagues admired her work ethic, but Maria's life was falling apart. Her relationships suffered, her creativity plummeted, and simple decisions became overwhelming. She couldn't remember the last time she laughed with genuine joy. The turning point came during a presentation to her biggest client. Mid-sentence, Maria's mind went blank. She stood there exhausted and embarrassed, realizing that her sleep deprivation wasn't making her stronger, it was making her vulnerable. That night, she made a decision that would change everything. She started treating sleep like the essential business meeting it truly is. Research consistently shows that well-rested people outperform their sleep-deprived counterparts in every meaningful way. When we sleep, our brains consolidate memories, process emotions, and generate creative solutions. Studies reveal that people who get adequate sleep earn higher incomes, maintain stronger relationships, and report greater life satisfaction. The most successful leaders across industries share one common trait: they protect their sleep like a precious resource. Consider the transformation of Lucas, a chef who ran 3 restaurants. He believed that success required constant availability, sleeping only when absolutely necessary. His businesses thrived initially, but Lucas noticed his judgment declining. He made costly mistakes, his team grew frustrated with his irritability, and his passion for cooking disappeared. When Lucas finally prioritized 8 hours of sleep nightly, everything changed. His creativity returned, his decision-making improved, and his restaurants became more profitable than ever. He discovered that rest wasn't stealing time from success, it was fueling it. The science behind sleep's impact on creativity is remarkable. During deep sleep phases, our brains form connections between seemingly unrelated concepts, leading to breakthrough moments. Artists, inventors, and problem solvers throughout history have credited their most innovative ideas to insights that emerged after quality rest. When we chronically shortchange our sleep, we literally limit our potential for creative thinking and complex problem solving. What beliefs about rest are you carrying that might be holding you back from your full potential? Sleep also serves as the foundation for emotional regulation and social connection. Well-rested people show greater empathy, patience, and emotional intelligence. They respond rather than react to challenging situations. Emma, a working mother of 2, discovered this firsthand. She had convinced herself that sacrificing sleep was necessary to be a good parent and employee. But her children began walking on eggshells around her, and her marriage grew strained. When Emma committed to going to bed at a reasonable hour, her entire family dynamic shifted. She became more present, more patient, and more fun to be around. Creating boundaries around sleep requires practical strategies that work in the real world. Start by identifying your non-negotiable sleep window, the time range that allows for adequate rest given your schedule. Communicate this boundary clearly to family, friends, and colleagues. When someone asks you to compromise this time, respond with the same firmness you would use to protect any other essential commitment. The power of saying no becomes crucial for sleep protection. Rachel, a community volunteer, struggled to refuse requests for her time. She served on multiple boards, volunteered at her children's school, and helped organize neighborhood events. Her sleep suffered as meetings ran late and responsibilities mounted. Learning to decline certain commitments felt uncomfortable initially, but Rachel discovered that her contributions became more valuable when she wasn't exhausted. She showed up fully for the activity she chose, making a greater impact with less effort. Technology boundaries play a significant role in protecting rest time. Many people find their sleep invaded by work emails, social media notifications, and streaming services. Creating a digital sunset, a specific time when screens are turned off, helps signal to your body that rest is approaching. Daniel, a software developer, implemented a strict no-screens policy after 9 p.m. Initially, he worried about missing important messages, but he found that nothing truly urgent happened in those final hours before sleep. His rest quality improved dramatically, and his work performance actually enhanced. How might your relationships change if you brought your best, most rested self to every interaction? The concept of sleep debt, the accumulated shortage of sleep over time, helps explain why rest must be treated as a priority rather than an option. Unlike financial debt, sleep debt cannot be quickly repaid with one long night of rest. Chronic sleep deprivation creates a compound effect, where each night of inadequate rest makes recovery more difficult. Understanding this principle helps justify the importance of consistent, quality sleep rather than the feast or famine approach many people adopt. Quality sleep example. Workplace culture often reinforces harmful attitudes about rest, glorifying exhaustion and treating sleep as expendable. However, forward-thinking companies are recognizing that well-rested employees are more productive, creative, and collaborative. Some organizations now encourage strategic napping, limit after-hours communication, and measure employee well-being alongside traditional performance metrics. Environmental factors significantly impact our ability to prioritize sleep. Creating a bedroom that supports rest, cool, dark, and quiet sends a message to yourself and others that sleep matters. Investing in quality bedding, blackout curtains, or a white noise machine demonstrates that rest deserves resources and attention. The ripple effects of prioritizing sleep extend far beyond individual benefits. When parents model healthy sleep habits, children learn to value rest. When leaders demonstrate work-life boundaries, teams feel permission to do the same. Your commitment to adequate sleep gives others implicit permission to prioritize their own rest. Financial planning offers a useful framework for thinking about sleep investment. Just as we budget money for essential expenses, we must budget time for essential rest. This might mean declining certain opportunities, delegating responsibilities, or restructuring daily routines. The initial investment pays dividends in improved health, relationships, and performance. Making rest a priority requires shifting from viewing sleep as time lost to recognizing it as time invested. Every hour of quality sleep returns multiple hours of enhanced productivity, creativity, and joy. This mindset transformation often represents the difference between temporary sleep improvements and lasting lifestyle changes that support lifelong well-being. Part 4. A new chapter. Each morning, better sleep doesn't just transform your nights. It revolutionizes your mornings and reshapes your entire day. When you invest in quality rest, you wake up to a world that feels brighter, more manageable, and full of possibility. This transformation touches every aspect of your life, from your energy levels and mood to your relationships and ability to pursue meaningful goals. The ripple effects of good sleep extend far beyond the bedroom, creating a positive cycle that builds momentum with each passing day. Picture Elena, a marketing director who struggled with restless nights for months. After implementing consistent sleep habits, her transformation was remarkable. Where she once dragged herself out of bed feeling foggy and irritable, she now wakes naturally before her alarm, feeling refreshed and ready to tackle challenges. Her colleagues noticed the change immediately. She became more creative in meetings, more patient with her team, and more confident in her decision-making. Well-rested mornings feel fundamentally different. Instead of reaching for multiple cups of coffee to function, you find yourself naturally alert and focused. Your mind feels clear, like a computer that has been properly restarted. Complex problems that seemed overwhelming the night before suddenly have obvious solutions. This mental clarity isn't just about cognitive function, it affects your emotional state too. Think about the last time you felt truly rested. How did colors seem more vivid? How did interactions with others flow more smoothly? When your body has had adequate recovery time, your nervous system operates in a calmer state. This means you're less likely to react strongly to minor frustrations and more likely to respond thoughtfully to challenges. Consider Marcus, a father of 2 young children who used to snap at his family during morning routines. After prioritizing his sleep schedule, he found himself approaching breakfast chaos with patience and even humor. His wife noticed he started singing while making coffee, something he hadn't done in years. The entire family dynamic shifted because one person chose to prioritize rest. The energy that comes from quality sleep differs dramatically from the artificial boost of caffeine or sugar. It's sustained, steady, and naturally renewable. Well-rested individuals report feeling more motivated to exercise, eat healthily, and engage in activities they enjoy. This creates a positive feedback loop where good sleep leads to better lifestyle choices, which in turn support better sleep. What dreams or goals have you put on hold because you felt too tired to pursue them? Quality rest often provides the energy and mental clarity needed to take action on long-delayed aspirations. Many people discover that their creative abilities flourish when they're well-rested. Ideas flow more freely, problem-solving becomes more intuitive, and the courage to try new things feels more accessible. Rachel, a part-time writer, struggled to complete her novel for 3 years, while battling chronic fatigue from poor sleep. Once she established better sleep habits, she found herself waking up with story ideas and having the energy to write for an hour each morning before work. Within 6 months, she finished her manuscript and began the publishing process. Each morning becomes an opportunity to approach life with renewed perspective. Yesterday's setbacks feel less overwhelming when viewed through the lens of a rested mind. The small irritations that once derailed entire days shrink to manageable proportions. This shift in perspective often surprises people most. They didn't realize how much their sleep quality was affecting their overall outlook on life. Physical benefits manifest quickly too. Skin looks healthier, eyes appear brighter, and posture improves naturally. The immune system functions more effectively, meaning fewer sick days and faster recovery from minor illnesses. These changes are often noticed by others before you recognize them yourself. How might your relationships change if you consistently brought your best, most rested self to interactions? Well-rested people tend to be better listeners, more empathetic, and more generous with their time and attention. They're also more likely to set healthy boundaries and communicate their needs clearly. The momentum that builds from consecutive good nights creates a powerful foundation for positive change. Each morning you wake up refreshed reinforces your commitment to prioritizing rest. This isn't about perfection. Even people with excellent sleep habits have occasional difficult nights. The difference is that they don't let one poor night derail their overall progress. Today marks the beginning of your own sleep transformation. Every choice you make toward better rest is an investment in tomorrow's possibilities. As you close your eyes tonight, remember that you're not just sleeping. You're preparing to wake up to a brighter, more energetic version of yourself. Chapter 5, Sleep for Life. Part 1, Growing Up with Sleep. Sleep transforms dramatically throughout our lives, changing not just in duration but in purpose and pattern. From the marathon naps of newborns to the fragmented rest of aging adults, each stage brings unique challenges and remarkable healing opportunities. Understanding these natural shifts helps families build healthier relationships with rest, creating foundations for lifelong wellness. This exploration of sleep across different ages offers practical strategies for every family member, while revealing how our nightly rest shapes who we become at each stage of development. Sleep begins as a growth machine in early childhood. 3-year-old Emma needs 12 hours of sleep each night, but her parents discovered this through trial and plenty of error. When Emma only got 10 hours, she became cranky, had trouble focusing on simple tasks, and seemed to catch every cold at daycare. Her body was missing crucial repair time needed for brain development and immune system strengthening. Young children process incredible amounts of new information daily. During sleep, their brains organize these experiences, moving important memories from temporary storage into long-term keeping. This process explains why well-rested children learn language faster, remember instructions better, and show more emotional stability than their sleep-deprived peers. The bedtime battle many parents face often stems from misunderstanding natural sleep patterns. 7-year-old Marcus fought bedtime every night until his mother realized he needed a longer wind-down period. She started his bedtime routine 30 minutes earlier, dimming lights and avoiding stimulating activities. Within a week, Marcus was falling asleep peacefully, and his morning meltdowns disappeared entirely. Have you noticed how your own childhood sleep memories still influence your current bedtime habits? Adolescence brings perhaps the most dramatic sleep changes of any life stage. Teenager biology shifts significantly around age 13, causing natural bedtimes to move later by 2 to 3 hours. This isn't rebellion or poor choices, but actual biological programming. 15-year-old Zoe naturally feels alert until 11 p.m., making traditional 9 p.m. bedtimes nearly impossible to maintain. This shift creates a perfect storm when combined with early school start times. Zoe needs 9 hours of sleep but can't fall asleep until 11 p.m. With school starting at 7:30 a.m., she gets barely 6 hours nightly. The result shows in declining grades, increased anxiety, and frequent illness. Her parents initially blamed laziness until learning about teenage sleep biology. Schools starting later have seen remarkable improvements in student performance, attendance, and mental health. When one district moved start times from 7:30 to 8:30 a.m., student grades improved by half a letter grade on average, and tardiness dropped by 60%. These changes didn't require new teaching methods or additional resources, just respect for natural sleep patterns. Teenagers also experience more intense sleep cycles. Their deep sleep periods are longer, and more restorative than adults experience. This explains why waking a sleeping teenager can feel like rousing someone from a medical procedure. Their brains are undergoing massive reconstruction, forming new neural pathways while eliminating unused connections. Parents can support teenage sleep by creating consistent routines rather than enforcing unrealistic bedtimes. Nathan's family established a house rule of no screens after 10 p.m. and kept bedroom temperatures cool. They stopped fighting about exact bedtimes and focused on creating conditions for quality sleep. Nathan's mood and academic performance improved within weeks. Young adulthood presents new sleep challenges as people gain independence but lose structure. College student Lisa discovered that freedom to stay up late came with consequences she hadn't anticipated. Her irregular sleep schedule led to difficulty concentrating during lectures, increased susceptibility to stress, and weight gain from late-night snacking. The demands of early career building often conflict with healthy sleep habits. 25-year-old David worked long hours trying to establish himself professionally, viewing sleep as optional. His productivity actually decreased as sleep debt accumulated, and he made costly mistakes that proper rest might have prevented. How might prioritizing sleep actually advance your career goals rather than hinder them? New parenthood creates perhaps the most extreme sleep disruption adults face. The average new parent loses 2 to 3 hours of sleep nightly during the first year. Jennifer and Tom learned to work in shifts, with one parent handling night duties while the other focused on day responsibilities. This strategy prevented both parents from becoming completely exhausted. Parents often make the mistake of trying to maintain pre-baby sleep schedules. Accepting that sleep patterns must temporarily change reduces stress and improves adaptation. Short naps become valuable, and flexibility replaces rigid bedtime routines. Many parents find that learning to rest when opportunities arise becomes a crucial survival skill. The physical demands of pregnancy also alter sleep significantly. Growing babies press against organs, hormonal changes affect sleep quality, and anxiety about parenting responsibilities can cause racing thoughts at bedtime. Pregnant women benefit from extra pillows for support, earlier bedtimes to accommodate more frequent wake-ups, and relaxation techniques for managing worry. Middle-aged adults face their own unique sleep challenges. Hormonal changes during menopause can cause hot flashes that disrupt sleep quality. Work stress often peaks during these years as people manage both career demands and family responsibilities. 45-year-old Rachel found that her previously reliable sleep became unpredictable, leaving her tired despite spending adequate time in bed. Physical changes also affect sleep quality in middle age. Joint pain may make comfortable sleeping positions harder to find. Medications for chronic conditions can interfere with natural sleep cycles. Many people discover that sleep strategies that worked for decades suddenly become inadequate. Aging brings further sleep evolution. Older adults typically need less total sleep but may experience more fragmented rest. 70-year-old William wakes up several times each night but has learned this is normal rather than problematic. He practices relaxation techniques during wake periods instead of becoming anxious about lost sleep. Sleep medications become more common, but also more problematic with age. The body processes medications differently, and interactions with other prescriptions can cause unexpected side effects. Many older adults find that natural approaches like consistent schedules, comfortable sleeping environments, and regular physical activity work better than pharmaceutical solutions. Family conversations about sleep often don't happen until problems arise. Discussing sleep needs, challenges, and strategies helps everyone understand that rest requirements change throughout life. When families treat sleep as important as nutrition or exercise, they create environments where healthy habits can flourish. Regular family check-ins about sleep quality can identify problems early. Simple questions like asking how everyone slept or noticing changes in mood or energy can prevent minor issues from becoming major disruptions. These conversations also normalize the importance of rest and make it easier to seek help when needed. Each life stage offers opportunities to develop better sleep relationships. Understanding that sleep needs evolve rather than remain static helps people adapt their approaches as circumstances change. The goal isn't perfect sleep, but appropriate rest for current life demands and biological needs. Part 2. Sleep through life seasons. Life changes like seasons, and sleep patterns shift along with them. Every major transition brings new challenges and opportunities to redefine rest. Career changes, parenthood, loss, illness, and aging each demand different approaches to sleep. Learning to adapt while maintaining compassion for yourself creates the foundation for lifelong healthy rest. These transitions aren't obstacles to overcome, but natural chapters that require patience, flexibility, and gentle adjustments to find what works in each new phase. When work life shifts, Emma started her first corporate job after years of freelancing from home. Her flexible schedule vanished overnight, replaced by early meetings and rigid deadlines. For months, she struggled with the 6 a.m. alarm, often lying awake at 10 p.m., knowing she needed sleep, but feeling wide awake. Her body hadn't adjusted to the new rhythm. The solution came through gradual change rather than forcing immediate adaptation. Emma began shifting her bedtime 15 minutes earlier each week, creating a buffer period before sleep. She established consistent evening routines that signaled work was over, like changing clothes and taking a short walk. Within 2 months, her body adapted to the new schedule. Career transitions often disrupt sleep because they change both physical schedules and mental stress levels. Promotion anxiety, job hunting stress, or retirement adjustments all impact rest quality. What helps most is acknowledging that adjustment takes time and creating structures that support the transition. The Parenthood Sleep Revolution. Nothing prepares new parents for the complete transformation of sleep patterns. Carlos and his partner felt confident about their sleep routines until their daughter arrived. Suddenly, 8-hour stretches became distant memories, replaced by 2-hour fragments interrupted by crying and feeding schedules. The traditional advice to sleep when the baby sleeps felt impossible with household responsibilities and visitors. Instead, they developed a tag team approach. One partner handled the 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. shift, while the other covered 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. This system ensured each person got at least 4 consecutive hours of rest. How might you adjust your expectations about sleep during major life changes while still prioritizing rest? Recovery sleep became crucial during this phase. When extended family visited, Carlos and his partner took turns having afternoon naps instead of socializing. They learned to view fragmented sleep as temporary rather than permanent, which reduced anxiety about the situation. New parents often feel guilty about prioritizing their own rest, but adequate sleep actually improves caregiving ability. Sleep-deprived parents struggle with patience, decision-making, and emotional regulation, all essential parenting skills. Health challenges and sleep. When Maya was diagnosed with chronic pain, her sleep quality plummeted. Pain medications affected her sleep cycles, while worry about her condition created racing thoughts at bedtime. She felt trapped between needing rest for healing and being unable to achieve it. Working with her healthcare team, Maya developed a multifaceted approach. Gentle stretches before bed helped manage pain levels. A consistent routine created predictability that calmed her anxiety. Most importantly, she learned to separate her identity from her sleep quality, reducing the pressure that often worsens insomnia. Health challenges require flexible approaches to sleep. What works during healthy periods might not work during illness or recovery. Medications, treatment schedules, and physical limitations all influence rest patterns. The goal shifts from perfect sleep to adequate rest that supports healing. Aging and changing sleep needs. Robert noticed his sleep changing in his 60s. He fell asleep easily, but woke frequently during the night, often staying awake for hours. Early morning awakening became common, leaving him tired despite spending adequate time in bed. Understanding that aging naturally changes sleep architecture helped Robert adjust his expectations. Instead of fighting middle-of-the-night awakenings, he practiced quiet activities like reading or gentle meditation. He moved his bedtime slightly later to match his natural patterns and accepted that his sleep might look different from his younger years. Aging adults often worry that sleep changes indicate serious problems, but many changes are normal parts of the aging process. Sleep becomes lighter with more frequent awakenings and less deep sleep. Adjusting expectations while maintaining good sleep habits creates the best outcomes. Loss and grief. When David's spouse passed away, sleep became another casualty of grief. The empty bed felt overwhelming, while worries about the future created racing thoughts. Some nights he slept too much, using sleep to escape emotional pain. Other nights, sleep felt impossible. Grief affects sleep in unpredictable ways. David learned to be patient with himself, adjusting his sleep environment by sleeping in a different room temporarily. He maintained his morning routine even when sleep was poor, creating stability during an unstable time. Professional support became important during this transition. Grief counseling helped David process emotions that were disrupting sleep, while his doctor provided temporary sleep aids during the most difficult period. How do you maintain self-compassion when sleep doesn't meet your expectations during difficult life periods? The art of flexible adaptation. Life transitions teach us that rigid approaches to sleep often fail when circumstances change. Flexibility becomes more valuable than perfection. This might mean adjusting bedtime schedules, changing sleep environments, or temporarily accepting lower sleep quality while working toward improvement. The key is maintaining some consistent elements while adapting others. Basic sleep hygiene principles remain important, but their application might change. A new parent might not have time for lengthy bedtime routines, but can still avoid screens before sleep and maintain consistent wake times when possible, building resilience through transitions. Each sleep transition builds resilience for future changes. Learning to adapt during one major life change creates skills and confidence for handling future disruptions. The experience of successfully navigating sleep challenges during career changes prepares you for handling sleep during health issues or family transitions. This resilience comes from understanding that sleep disruption during major life changes is normal and temporary. Most people regain stable sleep patterns once they adjust to new circumstances, though the timeline varies significantly between individuals and situations. Remember that seeking support during sleep transitions isn't weakness, but wisdom. Healthcare providers, family members, and sleep specialists can offer valuable assistance during challenging periods. The goal isn't to handle everything alone, but to build a support system that helps maintain your well-being through life's inevitable changes. Part 3. Sharing Sleep Wisdom. The power of sleep transformation extends far beyond personal benefits when we share what we've learned with others. Once you experience the profound changes that come from prioritizing rest, a natural desire emerges to help those around you discover the same relief and vitality. This chapter explores how your sleep journey can become a catalyst for positive change in your community, creating ripples that extend to countless lives through simple conversations, gentle guidance, and authentic storytelling. When Lisa first discovered the connection between her afternoon caffeine intake and her restless nights, she couldn't help but notice her colleague Emma struggling with similar symptoms. Emma would arrive at work exhausted, complaining about tossing and turning until 2 a.m. despite feeling tired at bedtime. Instead of offering unsolicited advice, Lisa simply shared her own experience during their lunch break. "I used to have the exact same problem until I realized my 3 p.m. coffee was keeping me awake," she mentioned casually. Emma's eyes lit up with recognition, and within 2 weeks of eliminating late-day caffeine, she was sleeping soundly through the night. This example illustrates the gentle power of personal storytelling in sleep advocacy. People respond more openly to shared experiences than to clinical advice or lectures about sleep hygiene. When we lead with vulnerability about our own struggles and discoveries, we create safe spaces for others to examine their own patterns without feeling judged or overwhelmed. The transformation often begins with family members who witness your changes firsthand. Marcus noticed his teenage son Jake staying up until midnight scrolling through social media, then struggling to wake up for school. Rather than imposing strict rules, Marcus shared how he had improved his own sleep by creating a phone-free bedroom environment. He explained how the blue light from screens tricks our brains into thinking it's daytime, making it harder to fall asleep naturally. Jake initially resisted, but became curious when he saw his father's improved mood and energy levels. They agreed to try a family phone charging station outside bedrooms for 1 week. The experiment worked so well that it became a permanent household rule. Have you considered how your own sleep improvements might inspire positive changes in your household or workplace? Workplace conversations about sleep often reveal surprising commonalities. During team meetings, productivity discussions frequently circle back to exhaustion and burnout. Rachel, a project manager, began incorporating brief check-ins about work-life balance into her team meetings. When team members mentioned feeling overwhelmed or tired, she would share practical strategies like the importance of consistent sleep schedules or creating boundaries around late-night emails. Her team's performance improved noticeably, and other departments began requesting similar approaches to workload management. Community sleep advocacy can take many forms, from organizing workplace wellness sessions to starting neighborhood walking groups that promote better sleep through exercise. Tom, a retired teacher, began offering informal sleep education sessions at his local community center after noticing how many seniors struggled with insomnia. He shared research-backed strategies in simple terms, focusing on practical solutions like establishing bedtime routines and managing worry through journaling. Attendance grew from 5 participants to over 30 within 3 months, with many attendees reporting significant improvements in their sleep quality. Breaking down sleep stigma requires addressing common misconceptions head-on. Many people still view needing adequate sleep as a sign of laziness or weakness. Others believe that surviving on minimal sleep demonstrates dedication or toughness. These harmful beliefs often prevent individuals from seeking help or making necessary changes to their routines. Sarah encountered this resistance when discussing sleep with her book club members. Several women prided themselves on functioning on 4 to 5 hours of sleep nightly, viewing it as evidence of their capability as working mothers. Sarah gently shared research showing how chronic sleep deprivation affects memory, decision-making, and emotional regulation. She emphasized that prioritizing sleep actually enhances productivity and parenting effectiveness rather than detracting from it. Gradually, the conversation shifted from comparing sleep deprivation to sharing strategies for better rest. The ripple effect of sleep advocacy becomes most apparent in family settings. When parents model healthy sleep habits, children naturally adopt similar patterns. Alex transformed his family's evening routine by implementing a gradual wind-down period starting an hour before bedtime. This included dimming lights, playing quiet music, and engaging in calm activities like reading or gentle stretching. His 8-year-old daughter initially complained about the changes, but soon began falling asleep more easily and waking up in better moods. The improved family dynamics extended to better communication and fewer bedtime conflicts. What small change in your evening routine could positively influence your family's sleep patterns? Professional settings offer unique opportunities for sleep advocacy through wellness initiatives and policy changes. Jennifer, a human resources director, noticed increased sick days and decreased productivity, correlating with busy periods when employees worked longer hours. She proposed flexible start times to accommodate different chronotypes and implemented quiet zones for brief rest periods during long days. These changes reduced turnover and improved employee satisfaction significantly. Healthcare providers often become powerful sleep advocates once they experience personal improvements. Dr. Williams, a family physician, began incorporating sleep assessments into routine checkups after addressing his own sleep apnea. He discovered that many of his patients' chronic conditions improved when their sleep quality increased. His practice began offering brief sleep counseling sessions, leading to reduced medication needs and better health outcomes for numerous patients. Community organizations provide excellent platforms for sleep education. Libraries, senior centers, schools, and faith communities often welcome speakers who can address common health concerns. Maria, a nurse, developed a simple presentation about sleep and aging that she shared at various community venues. Her non-technical approach helped older adults understand how sleep changes with age and provided practical solutions for common issues like frequent nighttime awakenings. Starting conversations about sleep requires sensitivity and timing. The most effective advocates listen first, identifying when people express frustration with tiredness, stress, or health issues that might relate to sleep problems. They share personal experiences rather than prescribing solutions, allowing others to make connections and draw their own conclusions about potential changes. School communities benefit tremendously from sleep advocacy, particularly regarding adolescent sleep needs. Parent education sessions can address the biological reality of teenage sleep patterns and the importance of later school start times. Teachers who understand these patterns can adjust expectations and provide support for students struggling with early morning schedules. Technology can amplify sleep advocacy efforts through social media groups, online resources, and community platforms. However, the most powerful advocacy remains personal, face-to-face conversations where trust and understanding develop naturally. The goal isn't to become a sleep expert, but to share authentic experiences and encourage others to explore their own relationship with rest. How might your personal sleep transformation serve as inspiration for someone in your life who's currently struggling with rest? The collective impact of widespread sleep awareness creates healthier communities where adequate rest becomes normalized rather than stigmatized. As more people prioritize sleep and share their positive experiences, cultural attitudes gradually shift towards supporting rather than undermining healthy sleep habits. Your journey toward better sleep becomes part of a larger movement that benefits everyone through improved public health, workplace productivity, and family well-being. Part 4. Your sleep story continues. Personal transformation through better sleep creates a foundation for lifelong wellness, but the journey doesn't end with achieving improved rest. Your evolving relationship with sleep becomes an ongoing story of self-discovery, adaptation, and growth. Through intentional reflection and forward-thinking goal setting, you can continue building upon your sleep achievements while remaining flexible enough to navigate future challenges. This section provides practical tools for evaluating your progress, setting meaningful intentions, and maintaining the curiosity and compassion needed for sustained sleep wellness throughout all of life's changing seasons. Your sleep journey represents more than just better nights and brighter mornings. Every adjustment you've made, every challenge you've overcome, and every small victory you've celebrated has contributed to a deeper understanding of your own needs and patterns. Consider Anna, who started tracking her sleep habits 2 years ago after experiencing chronic fatigue. Today, she not only sleeps 7 hours consistently, but has also learned to recognize early warning signs when stress begins affecting her rest. Her story illustrates how sleep awareness becomes a valuable life skill that extends far beyond the bedroom. Reflection allows you to recognize patterns and celebrate progress that might otherwise go unnoticed. Take time to think about where your sleep story began and how far you've traveled. What specific changes have made the biggest difference in your rest quality? Perhaps you discovered that reading fiction before bed works better than scrolling through news. Or maybe you found that a consistent evening walk improves your sleep onset time. These insights become valuable guideposts for future decisions. Consider Marcus, who realized through journaling that his best sleep weeks coincided with days when he exercised outdoors rather than in the gym. This discovery led him to prioritize morning walks, which not only improved his sleep, but also enhanced his mood and creativity at work. His story demonstrates how reflection can reveal connections between daily activities and nighttime rest that transform both sleep and waking life. What patterns have you noticed in your own sleep journey that surprised you? Sometimes the most unexpected discoveries prove to be the most valuable for long-term success. Goal setting for sleep differs from other areas of life because it requires balancing structure with flexibility. Rather than rigid targets, effective sleep goals focus on consistent practices and responsive adjustments. Elena found success by setting process goals rather than outcome goals. Instead of demanding 8 hours of sleep every night, she committed to maintaining her wind-down routine and keeping her bedroom cool. This approach reduced pressure while supporting natural sleep improvement. Creating intentions around sleep involves identifying what you want to maintain, what you'd like to improve, and what new challenges you might face. Consider seasonal changes, upcoming life transitions, or evolving health needs that could affect your rest. David, preparing for his first child, began adjusting his sleep schedule gradually months before the baby arrived. He also practiced power napping and created backup plans for maintaining sleep hygiene during the newborn phase. Journaling provides a powerful tool for ongoing sleep awareness and goal refinement. Regular written reflection helps you notice subtle changes, track what works, and identify areas needing attention before they become major issues. Simple prompts can guide this process effectively. Write about your current sleep satisfaction on a scale of 1 to 10, then explore what would move you 1 point higher. Describe your ideal sleep environment and compare it to your current setup. Record how different activities, foods, or emotions affect your sleep quality. Note seasonal patterns or life events that consistently impact your rest. Rachel discovered through journaling that her sleep quality dropped significantly during winter months, leading her to invest in a light therapy lamp and adjust her evening routine earlier. Her written observations helped her proactively address seasonal challenges rather than struggling through them repeatedly. Self-compassion plays a crucial role in maintaining long-term sleep health. Perfectionist approaches often backfire, creating anxiety that undermines the very rest you're trying to achieve. Instead, treat your sleep journey with the same kindness you'd offer a good friend facing similar challenges. Bad sleep nights will happen, and they don't erase your progress or predict future failures. How do you typically respond to setbacks in other areas of your life, and how might this affect your approach to sleep challenges? Tom learned this lesson after becoming frustrated with occasional insomnia episodes that disrupted his otherwise consistent sleep routine. By reframing these nights as temporary blips rather than failures, he reduced his anxiety around sleep and actually experienced fewer disrupted nights. His story shows how mindset shifts can directly impact sleep quality. Life continuously evolves, bringing new challenges and opportunities that affect sleep patterns. Career changes, relationship transitions, health developments, and aging all influence rest needs and capabilities. Approaching these changes with curiosity rather than resistance helps maintain sleep wellness through various life seasons. Viewing sleep as a lifelong adventure rather than a problem to solve once and forget creates space for ongoing growth and adaptation. Lisa, now in her 60s, approaches her changing sleep needs with the same curiosity she brought to improving her rest in her 40s. When menopause disrupted her previously excellent sleep, she explored new strategies rather than accepting poor rest as inevitable. Her adaptability allowed her to discover effective solutions and maintain sleep quality through this transition. Your sleep story continues evolving every single night. Each evening presents a fresh opportunity to care for yourself through restful choices. Some nights will bring deep, restorative sleep that leaves you feeling renewed. Other nights might bring challenges that test your patience and flexibility. Both experiences contribute valuable information to your ongoing sleep education. The knowledge and skills you've developed around sleep extend beyond personal benefit. Your improved rest likely enhances your relationships, work performance, and overall life satisfaction. These positive changes create ripple effects that touch everyone in your life, from family members who benefit from your better mood to colleagues who appreciate your increased focus and creativity. Remember that sleep wellness isn't a destination, but a journey of continuous learning and gentle adjustment. Every night offers new opportunities for rest and renewal. Your commitment to ongoing sleep awareness and self-care represents an investment in your long-term health, happiness, and ability to contribute meaningfully to the world around you. Trust in your ability to meet future sleep challenges with the wisdom and tools you've already developed. Your sleep story continues writing itself one night at a time, filled with possibilities for rest, renewal, and growth.